All right, cool. And now as a start, could you please just copy the code that we know is relevant and we'll figure out how to make it work. Okay. So my goal, just to kind of make sure that we're all super on the same page, is that we should be able to export this and use it in some way externally in another file without that file knowing how it actually works. So do we think that this function takes all the information it needs to succeed currently?
I would say so.
It's missing the database. We don't need to pass the database into it, but we need to import it here so that we know what it is.
Right.
Now, I think we can export this constant. Good fix. Can we export it? I think we should be done now. Yeah, that should be enough. And then if we played our cards right, we go back into list and we import this new service. Great. And then make sure did we delete it from when we copied it? It should be the only one in there.
Oh, no.
Ah, there we go. It's mad at us. That's okay. Now the code should work. Ooh, we're getting all kinds of fun things.
All right. Need this.
It's good of React to tell us when we've forgotten to import important things. All right, great. Now this code should work exactly the same way that it did a second ago. And then can we double check the actual database to make sure that this is all gone?
Oh, yes.
Can't imagine how it would have gotten out of sync, but we should always check.
Oh, wait.
Are you looking for the token name?
Yeah, I was looking in the wrong storage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've done that.
Right, Buzzy sub.
Geistly, where that is. Would be in data, right? We only have bananas. That's good. We know it works. Cool. I think that we can do two things now. We can get rid of the Firebase import from line 2 in list.jsx because we no longer need it. And we can commit this if we would like to keep this work. We can make a new branch too if we don't want to poison. We don't want to do any of the work on this branch, so we can go ahead and make a new one. So let's first make the new branch because if we add it, it's going to be added to this branch. We can always rename the branch later if we want to.
Okay.
What do you want to call it? Any names are fine. I just want you to think about them.
Hide Firestore data.
Sure. We could also maybe call it, I don't know, consolidate API calls.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And now you should be able to add safely to this branch. So go ahead. Love a good get alias.
Yep. Post delete item.
To service, yeah. Either way is fine. Cool. We got that work secured. Do we want to try moving in the purchasing item next, or do we want to go to a different file? I will take any vote on that.
Since we're already here, we can move
Yeah.
purchase item.
That seems like a good idea. Alex, do you want to help Terry out here? What needs to be moved?
Yeah, sure. So, Terry, if you can move the whole function, and then we might have to move get number of purchases and import dayjs. But we can start with just moving the function for now.
Okay.
So we have format string, but I believe get number of purchases and the get last purchase date is still in the list file. And then, yeah. And Terry, we need to import dayjs.
Yes.
And then lastly, export. Oh yeah, we need to import calculate estimate from the library. I think it's already in list.jsx. And then lastly, export purchase new item, or sorry, purchase item.
Oh yeah, export.
And then we have to go re-import it, right?
Right.
And then we can get rid of all of these other imports that we no longer actually need here. So then let's just double check that this works. If we save, we should be able to purchase bananas. Ooh, what else are we using dayjs? Oh, we haven't taken out the old code.
Oh.
That'll do it. And is checked, huh? I think is checked could go into the service because it's kind of it's still checking the API actually. Well, no, it's not really. Let's leave dayjs here right now for now, and we can talk about what comes next if we want to. And now we need to delete the old code that we copied because it's no longer relevant to us. Oh, we did. Good.
Yep.
Now we should be good to go. But let's just see if we can check off bananas and have it go away. Okay. November 10th at 2:55 or 2:25. Yes. And then double check. Very good. Yay. That looks like a success to me. And more so one that we can commit now. Is this general idea of consolidating this work making sense to everyone so far?
Yes.
Can I have any questions? Cool. Gabby, do you have any questions?
Nope, I'm just processing. Because a lot of the stuff you were moving, we're actually needing at some point on our side. So I was interested in seeing like if that was gonna affect it or not, but it doesn't look like it should. because I mean, we reported everything back in, so.
We also don't need to merge this right now. This work can be merged in whenever you feel like it's ready to be merged in. Now, we could go figure out where else we make API calls. Does anyone have any ideas?
Is it an add item?
That's definitely one.
Oh, probably Firestore list.
That too, but we're here now, so I think we can start here. This one will be a bit different because it's written differently than the other ones we've copied so far. But it looks doable. Which one of you wrote this? Which team?
It's Terry and I. And I guess at Update Firestore, I think that was partially Eden as well. I think we took some code and refactored it.
That's fine, as long as we feel confident that we know what we're doing to get this to work. Terry, what do you think needs to happen? Can you tell me what current list is? What type of data it is?
Current list. I think that's check for duplicate item. Man, I've already forgotten.
See, it happens. That's why we talked about documentation.
Yeah.
I saw it up there. Actually, current list is 48. Yeah. So it's just querying the collection for the doc with the token name.
Yes.
So current list is like a reference to the document, right?
Yes.
In this case, it would be great and compassionate to ourselves if we, as we're refactoring this, we document exactly what kind of data each argument should be so that we don't have this kind of confusion in the future. Stacy's prophecies are already coming true. That's okay though. This is what we knew would happen. So we need to do some extracting to get this to work, and there might be dragons in here. What should we do first? I'll take any guesses. If you don't have any guesses, that's totally okay. But I wanted to give you all space to think first. And Jill, if you have any commentary, please interrupt me anytime. I'm just talking, so.
Cool. I'm also having fun following along.
Yeah. So
are we stumped? Because I was stumped when I first did this because I refactored yours and then did mine.
Oh, so from what I remember, we make two separate API calls. One for checking if there's a duplicate item, and another one for adding the item to the Firestore.
I think that we could start small by first getting the duplicate item check to be in the service. How do you think? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that'd probably be easiest.
Yeah, we should start with whatever problem we can solve, right? Let's do that. So let's get the relevant code. That seems to be it. Let's copy that over. And now I want to stop and reflect on this code just for a sec. It's different than the other functions so far because you pass in a reference to a Firebase document rather than using a token to get the document inside the function. And I think that we should try to make these things similar where possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So my suggestion would be, I think, to change line 59 so that the signature of the function accepts the token and not the entire list. Thank you, Joe. And then from there, what needs to change?
We need a reference to the Firestore list, which we can get from this.
Sweet. Yes, and then before we're done with that, I think that also looking at these other two functions, if you scroll up to the other two functions for a sec, let's look at purchase item and last purchase date. We've got now, they're all in different orders, these signatures. On line 7, token comes first and the name comes second. On line 33, the item comes first and the token comes second. And finally, at the very end, we have token and item again. So just a note that we'll want to make these the same if possible later on.
Okay.
We can work with this as it is for now. I think that's this one covered, so we can export it. And then we can go back in and get rid of the duplicate code if we haven't already. And then this is a very familiar old song at this point, re-import. Sweet. And now we need to change the way we call that update function because it no longer works the way it did before.
So here we pass in the token instead.
It looks like that the rest of that's correct. It was just that first argument that needed to change.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we want that comma. There we go. That should be fine. And then let's just test that this still works now that we've got the signature fixed.
Okay, so bananas.
Yay. Cool. I think we can commit this. The goal I'm working us toward here is that the view layer of your application should have as little logic inside of it as possible. It can call and depend on certain things, but we shouldn't need to know about those internals while looking at these files. So is this making sense so far, everyone?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. This next one will be a bit of a mess, but that's okay. It'll be a fun mess. What do we think needs to happen first?
I think we can extract update Firestore.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Let's give it a shot. And this is also a chance, I think. Go ahead and paste. This update is kind of ambiguous. This is the word update here because we're kind of doing a lot of update operations. So we're trying to create a new item in this case, or add item, right?
Yeah, I was sort of feeling the same way. I was a little confused because at first I thought it was updating an item, but really it's adding a new item.
So that name would help us here, I think. So we could start by calling this maybe add item to go with how you called it delete item before, I think, in the other one. And then in the same fashion, I think that we can change the signature of this to take a token. And you want to change that line 68 now as well. Got 2 dots. And this now should be fine. This also happened to me. Now, we can't call reset the way that we'd like to because reset depends on access to the form hooks. So for now, let's just comment that out or get rid of it because the function should otherwise work the same, even if the form doesn't reset. And we just need to rename. Yay. Now we should still be able to add an item to our list. The form did not submit, which we knew, or change, which we knew would happen, but we still have coffee.
Right.
So it looks like it works. Would you agree?
Yes, it does.
Yep, it works.
I think that we can commit this because we've still made a significant change, and then we can make another commit for fixing our reset problem.
Okay, sounds good.
As you might have been able to guess by now, I was not kidding when I said that I genuinely enjoy refactoring stuff. Makes me very happy. I'm not clean in my physical life, but I'm very clean when I code, or I try to be. Before I pose my suggestions about what happens next, does anyone have any ideas about what we can try to get reset to still work?
I don't think we've imported React hook form into services.
We haven't.
So if we imported it, wouldn't it would technically work.
Hooks only work inside of React functions.
Okay, I wasn't sure if the form was any different or not.
I'm thinking.
I could be wrong. We can always try it and see what errors we get, if anything, right?
Okay.
I do want to hear your idea, but I think it would be good to either prove me wrong or see exactly what React is upset about if we try to do this.
What should I do?
Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, I just suggested importing reset from React hook form, but I'm not sure if that would work or not.
Yeah, we can try it.
Or I guess in this case, we're just importing use form, so I'm not sure if that would even work.
Let's import use form first and see what happens if we try to use the use form hook. Say that 5 times fast in a sentence.
Should I use the form instead of add item?
Yeah, I think that works. Let's see what it does. I would love for it to be simple, but aha. So, yep, this violates one of the core rules of hooks, which is that these things can only be directly called inside of the React components where they're meant to be used. Which is a bummer, but that does not mean that we are out of luck yet. Any other ideas?
Maybe we can pass the function as an argument.
We could do that, but we don't necessarily need for add item to know about that function, do we?
Oh, maybe we can just reset after adding the item.
That should work. I say should, but I've been wrong before, so let's find out. We can get rid of that code if you'd like to.
Yeah, my only concern is the asynchronous, because adding an item is asynchronous.
We could await, couldn't we, on line 23? Because the onSubmit function is asynchronous.
Yeah, let's give it a try.
I think the editor is telling us it doesn't have any effect, but we'll see. You see those 3 dots? Let's just see what happens. We can always unbreak stuff. Okay, yeah, I definitely did not wait. So I wonder why it's telling us it doesn't have any. I guess because we're not making this asynchronous, so we can go ahead and do that. Let's see if we go back to the add item JSX if it. Okay, cool. It might actually await now.
Okay.
I think it did. I think that awaited. I'm going to call that good. Let's double check the list to make sure the list is looks like we think it should look. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. And we can do a bit more cleanup too. I think we can now finally get rid of current list on line 11. And then do we have anything we can clean up in the list service that we don't want anymore? In the actual service file? Yeah. I think we imported something we don't actually use later on in the file. Oh no, we got rid of it. Cool. I think there's one more place where we make an API call. It's for making the list in the first place, right?
Right.
First, let's commit our work. Let's be good about that.
What did we do?
We have extracted the add item functionality into the services. Or no, we did something else. Oh yes, we did. We did that already. We fixed the reset functionality for the form.
Right.
Remember that no commit can be too small. So it's totally fine if you have like 2 lines of changes that you want to commit. Now this API call is much simpler than the other ones, but it's still kind of worth extracting out of here, I think.
In this case, would we just be extracting this line?
Yep, I think so. We could call that maybe create list. And then we would need for it to take a token for this to work nicely, right? Just following how we've already had all these functions take arguments, right?
Mhm.
Mhm. And then we would need to re-import it. We can replace line 4. Cool. Now we should be able to get rid of our application state and make a new list if we need to make a new list. Everyone hold, yay. We could commit this, I believe. But before we do, I see an opportunity to clean something up that we're repeating a bit.
Get list token.
Yep, totally. It's small, but you know what? It saves us a little bit of time. Sweet. Let's go ahead and use this. We can go and commit it, I think. And I think that's everything. So we don't need to merge this now or at all. If we don't want to keep this work, it's totally fine. This is optional. This is a journey we went on together for fun. But it would be great to explain this to Eden, and I can also help explain if need be. But does anyone have any questions about what we just did? Any thoughts? Anything? No one, no commentary?
No, this was very helpful. It definitely makes me feel better that these components are getting a little bit cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier to find the API calls in one place.
There's always more work to do, but I think that was one of the biggest things where we could maybe organize ourselves a bit better, which is always good. Anything else that we want to talk about that's not related to this, just involving the functions of your work? Anything? Any general programming things we want to talk about?
I have a kind of unrelated question, but sort of related to my issue.
Sure, go ahead.
We were trying to experiment in getting, we got it to sort. So we're trying to work on the interval part of it. Wait, my mind just went blank. We're working on the part on the, oh gosh, what's the word? We're working on the items that like haven't been used in a long time. And so trying to do the, I guess, calculated estimate and the last purchase calendar date. And when we console log it, and that's probably not right, but when we console log it, it's returning a very, very huge number that doesn't seem to make sense in any form. I don't know if you have an idea, and the number is 1, 2, 3.
Could you show me? Do you have the code on your computer right now?
I can start it up real quick. Yeah.
Also, Jill, I feel like I've hijacked your session, Jill. So do you have anything you want to talk about?
No, I think this is really helpful, even for me, just to see like the process of refactoring it. Yeah, thanks for coming and like with this set out to do. I thought it was cool.
Oh, no, thank you for having me. I enjoy helping out, and it's fun to clean things up. If I could take this joy into my physical life, I'd be much cleaner, I think, but alas.
Yeah, well, at least the code benefits.
Okay. Sorry it's small today. I'm on my laptop right now. Okay, so yeah, I was experimenting with like a bunch of different stuff. So there's a lot of nonsense in here right now. But I was attempting to do something with item that calculated in last purchase, and it's returning this number, which is like 63 trillion, quadrillion. It's some huge number.
That is a large number. Can you remind me what is it's in seconds, right? Is that the problem? Or
I don't know, because we tried to like convert it to something, but none of these times make any sense. Because I know it shouldn't be that small, but it shouldn't be that big. And
can I see your code again, please?
Yeah, what are you logging? It also said negative, I think, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of set to be negative.
Okay.
But I figured that either way the number shouldn't be as big as it is though.
Yeah.
So let's just remind everyone, including mainly me, the calculated estimate is a small integer, right? It's like 714 or something like that.
It's something under like 14 or under usually.
Okay. So then it should be, we're saying 14 times 2 minus the last purchase date. Oh, see, dates are large numbers. That's what it is. I would put money down because last purchase is a date from dayjs, right?
Yeah.
So
should I be maybe converting the last purchase to a normal time first?
I think so. Catch me up here. The goal of this is to just calculate how long it's been, or if it's been over the interval. Is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna determine if it's inactive or not to see if it's over, to see if the last purchase date is greater than the calculated estimate times 2.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not sure this is actually the right way to go about it, but right now it's just kind of console logging.
Right.
What gave
Can I see your console log again? The one that's in your browser? Can you? I'm not seeing the third console log because you're logging 3 things, right? If you're logging,
maybe not.
Can you just console log item last purchase for a sec, just so we're super clear on what's what? You can go ahead and delete those, I think, because it's going to maybe yell at you because you're in, React hell. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, if you go back to your code, I'm trying to remember the order in which these were logged. I do this all the time for myself. The estimate appears to be an object. No, can you just console log last purchase by itself with nothing else in there? I'll get my head sorted out, I promise. Okay, so yeah, the last purchase is for sure an object, and I think maybe dayjs is trying to help us by letting us do math on the numeric value of that object. Does that make sense?
So it's showing up crazy because it thinks it's helping us, but
yeah, it should actually be stopping us from doing this. Ideally, it would stop us from doing this calculation because well, no, I guess it does make sense because we're treating this like as a number, right? But if you expand it, you can see this is clearly an object that we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
So to do our math, there are these methods too where we can turn it into numbers, right? I think I see them. We got 2 mils, we got 2 whatever. I'm just looking at the object. I see here we have the seconds count, we have nanoseconds, we have to date, we have 2 mils. So there are other conversion functions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we could, in theory, do math on those converted numbers.
Okay, so maybe so turn it into like hours or something before we even start doing the math on anything.
Yeah, and then just to double check our work, can you go back to your code, please, and undo to get back the other things we were logging before. Now, if I understand correctly, all these things should be dayjs objects.
Yes.
So I think that we would need to convert all of them. I think to get this to work. Does that make sense?
I think it does, yeah. I think they just got to play around with dayjs and see what they can
You know what you can do? Go ahead and delete or comment out, whichever your preference is, that console log you got from line 166 to 172. I don't think we need that entire code. I'm gonna have you go up into before the return function, or the return statement, excuse me, to do what I'm gonna have you do. Yeah, it's those inner brackets are messing you up. You still have one on line 167, right at the beginning.
I think that's right.
No, they're showing up because they it doesn't want you to have, yeah, the yellow ones. There you go.
Oh.
Now it should maybe, there we go. All right. So what we can do, if you're not really sure what kind of information is happening, go to the code between lines 153 and 155. And we're going to console log something between those 2 points, just so we're not in the return statement. It's a little bit cleaner that way.
Okay.
Let's console log the type of item last purchased. Type of is an operator, so you got a space. It's not a function. It's very weird. So you get rid of the parens and you add a space. Type of space, whatever. So item dot last purchased. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, last purchase date. No, it's last purchase date. You're right. All right, no. What is this? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It keeps giving me date for some reason, but that's not what I mean.
But we can see now it's an object. So this puts some credence to my theory that what's happening is it's trying to be nice to you and let you do math with those two objects.
Okay.
Fun stuff, right? This, by the way, at the risk of beating a already overbeaten drum, is why we like to document stuff, because if we document and have notes on exactly what properties item has and what types those properties are, we won't forget and get caught up like this again.
Yeah. All right.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, it did.
I am happy to let you take a shot at fixing this and then help if you are still stuck. But it seems like a solvable problem. I have faith in you.
Yeah, because all we really had a chance so far is we just got it sorted from least to greatest based on the calculated estimate. Not pretty yet. We gotta make it look like sir. But we haven't got it out. The alphabetize isn't working yet. We gotta work on that. And
can I see where you do your sorting?
Right here.
It's all that. I see. Right where I wasn't looking, of course.
Yeah, it's not pretty yet. We're probably gonna turn it into a switch statement.
That's all right. I have some thoughts here about how you might be able to offload some of this work, though.
Okay.
Firebase allows you to make queries in such a way that it will do the sorting before you even get the data back.
Is that for order by? That order by function?
I believe so. This is me proposing to you something I haven't actually used yet, but I know it can be done.
Okay, yes. We spent about a good hour and a half trying to figure out order by child, and they were not working, and we could not figure out why. It kept.
You know what? That's fine. We do whatever we do whatever we can make it work. I'll take a look at it and see if I can get it to work. But this works for now, or it's almost working, right? It works more than your other thing did.
Yeah, like we knew this was kind of the longer way, and we were really trying to get that order by, but it was not working at all, and we couldn't figure out why.
If you can't figure out the order by before this week is out, maybe you can just make a note to yourself via an issue that you know you can improve it by having the database do it for you. But it's not worth your time to let this stop your entire world from functioning.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you can figure out order by, let us know. Maybe we're doing something.
I will let you know.
I have a question. On line 144, you have a dot normalized name.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like
This was me experimenting because I couldn't get the name to work. I tried like 5 other things already, so this was just, I guess, number 5 that also didn't work.
oh, I see. If you just put in the item name, does it like sort it by alphabet or? I forget what we actually stored in the database as. I think it was dot name.
Yeah, I tried it with as name, item dot name, but yeah, I'll let you see them. All right, so this all here works. The stuff that's considered undefined is basically the only things that need to get ordered here, which are these 3. So this is what we're looking for to order. Salmon, oranges.
Now we're at time and I want to be mindful of everyone's time. So before we go, are there any other questions I can help get us some pointers on?
Yep, I think that's all.
Okay, and really quick also, any questions about the work that I had Terry drive around and do?
Oh, makes sense.
Cool. Do you all have any concerns about getting that merged later, or do you think it'll be all right?
I think we should be able to do it when we do our merging for the week.
Oh yeah, y'all have that mob programming day that you do for merging, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. If there are any problems, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. I know merge conflicts are very scary. I had one at work, and it's all, no matter how long I do this, it's just, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. All right, well, thank you all for letting me drive you around. Any other questions? Anything we want to talk about before we all sign off and enjoy the rest of our evening?
I don't have any questions, but this has been super helpful, and I appreciate that you for you to take the time to help us refactor, because Terry and I were definitely looking at that file yesterday.
You're very welcome. I'm glad to do it. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for another fun session, and I will see y'all again very soon.
All right,
Thank you.
Thanks, EJ. Thanks, Joe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.